like, I want this concept. I want to like share this concept. I wasn't trying to go viral. I was just like, I want to get this idea out there. How should I do it? And together we came up with the Hated in a Hoodie, Hero with a Knife. So I posted them as 2 slideshows. I just posted 2 photos, one with me with the do-rag and a hoodie, and then one with me with my white coat and a scrub cap in the exact same pose. It just took off and people saw it and just really resonated and shared it. I met like celebrities through Instagram. I had a conversation with Kristen Bell. D.L. Hughley shared it. Romeo Miller shared it. Apparently it was on World Star. What's his name? Alex Caruso shared it. And you know, this is all, most of it was like, I didn't even realize it was happening. People were contacting me from undergrad, people that I hadn't talked to in years are like, yo, I just saw this post. I'm like, well, what are you talking about? And then I opened up Instagram and it's just like, it's just going
everywhere.
Crazy. Yeah, it's everywhere.
Strong. It was a strong message, man.
Dr. Dale here. Really quick before we start this episode, I want to ask you to support our mission by doing one thing. Just subscribe. Subscribe to our YouTube channel or our podcast channel, whichever one you listen to. Just hit that subscribe button. The way our podcasts get out there is by you guys liking it, by subscribing, and of course by sharing as well. So if you do one of those things for us right now, we really appreciate it. We work very hard to make these episodes for you guys. We work very hard to get them out for you guys and just to try to uplift the entire community. So if you can help us out by doing one of those things, subscribe, share, or like every time. I really appreciate it. Love you guys.
So why ortho? Now, I know you played basketball and all that. You did kinesiology, but ultimately, why ortho?
Yeah, basically, I was playing basketball, fractured my 5th toe, my pinky toe, and that is why I did orthopedics. Okay, specifically why? So I had to wear a cast for the first time. It was a horrible experience, but in the thick of that experience,
when was this? This was during med school?
This was also my freshman year. So I fractured my freshman year, and I actually took the course. I took anatomy and physiology at the beginning of my sophomore year. So I had just gotten over the injury. I remember the injury very clearly. So what happened was the first thing we went over, sorry, can you see me?
Yeah, I got you.
First thing we went over was bone healing physiology. And for the first time, I was able to match every one of my symptoms to the scientific reasoning and process of bone healing. So that's the first beginning of why I felt connected to orthopedics. Second was that my dad actually had really bad hip arthritis. Got to the point where I bought him a cane so that he could walk. And me and my sisters also convinced him to get a total hip replacement. And by the time one of my sisters got married, he was able to walk her down the aisle without a cane.
Oh, nice.
So that was huge for me. That's why I did orthopedics. Honestly, my dad, that's why I did orthopedics.
You can see the healing.
Yep.
So here's a question. If not ortho, what would it have been? If you didn't choose orthopedic surgery, what specialty would you have chosen?
I don't know, to be honest. Especially now that I'm here, it's hard to say. I mean, I dabbled with neurosurgery. I dabbled with neurosurgery. I mean, okay. So now with the knowledge that I have, what would I do? Maybe plastics.
What would be the last specialty you would choose?
Any form of pediatric surgery.
Why is that?
Unfortunately, because of some of the personalities that I've encountered in pediatric surgery, I think I understand that it's a very high stakes environment dealing with young children. And sometimes it either attracts personalities or creates personalities that I don't know if I'm very compatible with. So I love children though. I love kids, but I don't think that environment is for me.
Fascinating. So it's kind of like the stereotypes, right? So you think it's true. You think that certain specialties really do have certain stereotypes, kind of like the, frats and sororities. They talk about certain sororities have.
Yeah.
You think that's true in medicine?
I think in medicine, stereotypes are easy to gravitate to. Obviously, it's not a rule. Like, I'm not a stereotype. to the degree like in orthopedics, I don't necessarily match the stereotype. There's components about me that match stereotype. But anyway, all that said, yeah, unfortunately, I do 100% think that there are stereotypes, although they don't apply to everyone. For sure.
Yeah, definitely. So you had this thing that went viral. Two things. Hated in the hoodie. I think that's what it is, right? So hated in the hoodie, and you also had hero with a knife. I remember those was the same things or two separate things. But what
Oh,
led
there were one.
One. So what led to you doing that? I remember seeing it everywhere for a while. It's just everywhere. Like what sparked that, and what were you trying to accomplish with that?
So it's crazy. It was basically the height of the pandemic, where we were all pretty much at home. So I had more free time, and this is also at the height of social unrest in the U.S. Because of police brutality. And I had just reopened my Instagram account. Like I never had Instagram. I just reopened it, and I began like seeing the power of content. This is before the pandemic. I just began to see like the power of content, and I began kind of testing, posting. So essentially, I was preparing it was like equivalent to a TikTok, and I took 2 photos. This was just unintentional. And I remember when Ahmad died, it really struck me because I saw myself. I just kind of like saw myself. Someone just, doing something chill. Like it's like me hooping at a park or taking a jog to the park to go hoop. You know what I mean? And I was like, dude, that I just feel like that could have been me. And I was like, but I always feel like that me being in medicine is protected, which is also crazy. I'm like, maybe because people think I'm a doctor, they'll respect me more. So I was thinking on that subject, I was like, how messed up is that? Does me in a profession make my life more valuable than the other person? Absolutely not. So I just pondered on it, and I don't know why. I don't know how. I don't remember how I found those 2 photos, but I remember scrolling through my iPad and I saw those 2 photos next to each other. And I was like, I'm going to post these 2 and see. And just like, I was sitting with my brother and a friend. I was like, what do y'all like? I want this concept. I want to like share this concept. I wasn't trying to go viral. I was just like, I want to get this idea out there. How should I do it? And together we came up with the hated in a hoodie, hero with a knife. So I posted them as 2 slideshows. I just posted 2 photos, one with me with the do-rag and a hoodie, and then one with me with my white coat and a scrub cap in the exact same pose. And then I talked to someone who knows more about social media, and they were like, hey, to make it easier for people to understand and get the message, you should put it all on one slide. So I made it the version 2 of all on one slide, maybe like a few days later or so. And that one just took off. People saw it and just really resonated and shared it. I met like celebrities through Instagram. I had a conversation with Kristen Bell. D.L. Hughley shared it. Romeo Miller shared it. Apparently it was on World Star. What's his name? Alex Caruso shared it. And, this is all, so most of it was like, I even realized it was happening. People were contacting me from undergrad. People that I hadn't talked to in years are like, yo, I just saw this post. I'm like, well, what are you talking about? And then I opened up Instagram and it's just like, it's just going
everywhere.
Crazy. Yeah, it's everywhere.
Strong. It was a strong message, man. Is it? And what you're expressing is definitely true, right? So people do tend to try to add extra value to you when they know you're not just a doctor, but anything that might be viewed as a valuable professional field, whatever. Which is unfortunate, rather than just always looking at anybody for what they are and just knowing that there's inherent value in being a child of God, right? A human being. So that's unfortunate. A couple fun questions here. Where were you when you got your med school acceptance letter, and how did you celebrate?
Oh, I was at home with my family here in Dallas, and my sister. So I went to med school where my sister was at, and I ranked them number 1. And I was pretty excited that I got it was a pre-acceptance letter, actually. So they gave me an early acceptance. And I was like, yo, like I was just so excited. I was feeling myself. I was like, yo, I'm gonna be a doctor no matter what. I already got the pre-acceptance letter. Like, let's go. But I wasn't like crazy. I was just like, okay, let's go. Bet next level, let's get it. I'll be honest, I wasn't like, I kind of felt like, well, she's there, so she ain't better than me.
No celebration. Y'all ain't go. You ain't go out and get dinner at least or something.
To be honest, I don't remember. I don't think we did. By this time, I'm number 3. I'm the third doc. First 2 sisters than me, so I don't know if they're that excited.
Yeah,
I did have a graduation party though. There you go. Obviously, I was integrated in there, so it was a good time.
Nice. So, next fun question. So, medicine is a science, but medicine is also an art, right? So, when you think about the art of medicine, is there an artist out there? It could be a painter, a sculptor, a musician, and even an entertainer, right? The sports or form art. Is there an artist out there that you would compare yourself to in the field of medicine? Tough question. But is there an artist out there you would compare yourself to?
Yeah. This is I don't know if that's a safe one to say, but I'm gonna say it. Don't judge me. I'm gonna say it. To a degree, I'm no psychopath. Okay, but to a degree, I liken myself to Kanye West. The reason why?
Why is that?
I think Kanye. I think he has a skill. He has a talent. But I think because people misunderstand him, they don't appreciate it all the time. Now, obviously, it's split. He has fans. But I think, in a way, Kanye challenges a lot of biases that we have about rappers, in a way. And also through his own little transformation, him flipping from one style of music to another, he further challenges like the media and their expectations of him. And also sometimes label him as crazy. He could very well be crazy. He could not be. But people are so quick to label someone when they go counter culture or counter what their expectations are. And I feel I feel very similar in the way of how social media has played into my story and allowed me to tell my story. I do feel like it's pretty scary sometimes that I'm going very counterculture. And it's, I also kind of feel discouraged sometimes to continue. But I would say that, when I look at Kanye, if I were Kanye and I had that much discouragement, at least in my mindset, I would probably be discouraged to continue doing anything. I would probably just quit. I'm not justifying anything he does or anything he doesn't do. I'm just saying that, just looking at someone be able to push past that much criticism for something that sometimes is not that deep. It's kind of, I think it's relatively benign. I think that's at least admirable, and still maintain confidence is pretty cool.
That's dope. I like that. Two more things. I don't know which one to do first. I'll answer the first one, then we'll leave on the last one. So the first one is, how do you want to be remembered? What do you want your medical legacy to be? Right. At the end of the day, Doc Iggy. Who do you want your kids, your grandkids, to say Doc Iggy was?
We'll be right back.
I want them band like a daddy, yeah. Oh, let's do it like Flagger, yeah. I'm kicking flavor, no saga, yeah. Hey, I like them blues. I might go Janet like Jackson. I got them options, yeah. It's all about progression. Life is like a blessing. Everything a win, loss is like a lesson. Ooh. Yeah, ain't no time.
Black Men White Coats merch found at bmwc.store.
Who do you want your kids, your grandkids, to say Doc Iggy was?
I want people to remember me as a mentor that helped multiply representation in medicine. And specifically, I just want people to, from every background, to have after encountering me, whether it be through social media, in person, in the wards, to be encouraged to live in the purpose that they have in life beyond their career. And to be encouraged that when it's not ideal, when it doesn't look ideal, to continue in their journey to that purpose, more than just the career, more than just the check, more than just the letters after your name, more than just the recognition, but to truly walk in your purpose and then further multiply others to walk in their purpose. I hope that everything I'm doing, that's what I'm encouraging. I hope that's how people remember me, not the ortho surgeon, not the rich guy, not someone, Instagram famous, but someone who is helping others to become who they're supposed to be.
Good deal. But so you got the platform, the Instagram platform and such. I think people sometimes don't realize, like, those of us who build platforms, you and I were talking about platforms earlier on. Some people have bigger social media platforms. I have other ways I do things as well. The platform is for you to get that message out. So that legacy you're talking about building, you have a platform you're building to get that legacy out. Now, man, you got to do this one for me, right? You got to give me this one, all right? You got to give me this one. I didn't tell you I was going to do it, but you got to give me this one. You are Doc Iggy. You're the dancing Doc Iggy. I'm not on TikTok, but I see your TikTok type of stuff, man. So you got to give me a TikTok something before we get off. Yeah, I know you got some music. You got something.
What
you got to give us? You got to give us a bop. You got to give us something. I don't know, the boom. I don't know. I'm not young anymore. I'm bald, so I don't know what's hot anymore. But you got to give us something for the podcast, man.
All right, I don't know what the podcast wants.
The podcast wants what Doc Iggy wants to give.
All right, well, Doc Iggy's gonna give you a whoa. That's my favorite dance. Any video you watch, you gonna see me whoaing.
All right, let's see the whoa there. I just learned. Yeah, I just learned what that is. You have to educate people. I just learned what it is like last week, probably.
A few different kinds of whoas. Okay, this is the typical whoa. You got to throw something up. Okay, you got to throw something up, and then you hit the whoa. So here it is. You throw it up. Whoa. That's number one. Okay.
All right.
You can do it more slick. You can kind of be subtle. Whoa. But the newest one is with two hands. Essentially, you throw it up.
Okay.
Whoa.
Hey. All right. I need to see the new one, but I gotta see you get up on your feet and do it, man.
On my
I can't
feet,
see
man.
because the camera's down, so I'm losing your hand on the whoa.
All right, man.
We need a real. Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's the Achilles, right?
That's the Achilles.
All right, here's the whoa. Here's the whoa. The black men in white coats whoa right here.
Whoa,
there
okay.
we go. All right,
and then you hit that. Whoa.
Okay.
That's all I got. That's all I got, man.
All right.
I'm getting old.
Two hand whoa.
I'm getting old.
Nah, man. Hey, look. I appreciate you for taking the time out. I know you're busy. You got the scrubs on and all that stuff. So I appreciate you for taking the time out to be on the podcast. We out here whoaing and stuff like that. Let me get my whoa. You gotta tell me how I'm doing. Tell me how I'm doing. So I throw it up and I whoa. Yeah. No, almost what I gotta do.
Oh, you lean back. You lean back into it.
So I throw it up. I gotta work on it. We can do some classes or something like that. But I appreciate you coming on the podcast and sharing your story. I'm having fun, but really talking about kind of the deeper parts of medicine too, which is the reason we do the podcast, right? A couple take homes that I got from your story. Number one is don't quit. Waitlist doesn't mean no. The waitlist does not mean no, right? I just finished reading the book, and one of the things that the guy's basketball book was talking about was what God has for you, God has for you. So, if you got to go through the wait list, that's your path. If you get some no's, you got told no for some undergrad schools, that's your path, and you look at where you're at now. That's number one. And number two is within the field of medicine. I really like what you're talking about. It's about loving people. I like that aspect of it. You got to love people. And I was like I told you before we got on here, today's the first day. I've been on service every day for over the past month now, right? So I just did the whole Christmas, New Year's. I didn't get a day off, taking care of COVID patients. So today's the first day I could actually sit down and think about this. But something that kept on going through my mind during that time was none of these words, but now that you said it, pretty much was, are we loving our patients? You know, are we loving our patients' families? Or is this just a job that we have to do? So I'm going to take that with me, the way you described, especially what you did for both of those patients we talked about remembering to make sure we're loving our patients and loving our patients' loved ones in addition to that as well. Real quick, go ahead and tell them your IG handles again, or whatever handles you got, so people can follow you and watch you. Whoa.
Sure. Yeah. Across all platforms, if you look up Dr. Iggy, you should be able to find me. But the specific handle is doc.iggy. So doc.iggy. And that's on all platforms, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook. So you'll be able to find me.
Excellent. So to listeners, hey, I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you for listening. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Really important for us. We're talking about platforms. We're trying to grow our podcast, our YouTube, our whatever, IG, all that stuff. So, support us, help us get this stuff bigger so we can get these messages out there. And just go ahead and look down below in the description. You see all the links if you want to stay in touch with us on our email list, the movies, the store where you can grab you some swag, a shirt like this, all sorts of stuff, right? Just go ahead and check the description. We got links for everything down there. Love you guys. Thank you guys for listening, man. And we'll see you next time.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Dr. Daniel here. I hope y'all enjoyed that episode. Dr. Iggy was coming with it, and we really appreciate him. Shout out to him. And make sure y'all follow him on social media. He's got a lot of good stuff, and he has a lot of knowledge to share with everybody and entertainment. So y'all check him out. And make sure y'all come on back next week. We've got an amazing guest that you do not want to miss. I tell you, you do not want to miss this guest. We're going to have a good time. So anyway, make sure you drop in the comments if you've got a guest you'd like to see on the podcast, or if you got any questions, come on through, drop them in. All right, well, love you, fam. Y'all have a blessed one. Peace.
Ooh, I want them band like a daddy, yeah. Only do it like Flagger, yeah. I'm kicking flavor, no saga, yeah. Ayy, I like them blues. I might go Janet like Jackson. I got them options, yeah. It's all about progression. Life is like a blessing. Everything a win, loss is like a lesson. Ooh, ooh. Yeah, ain't no time for stressing. I've been really stepping. Ooh, ooh. Yeah, if you wanna go get it, stop playing around. Really got on racks, ain't playing around. Wanna go get it, stop playing around. Really got on racks, ain't playing around. Black men, white coat, shit, we up right now.